Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be on this knife, and this is a Great Eastern Cutlery Northfield special factory order for TBDPKCC. And so that stands for the Best Damn Pocket Knife Collectors Club, as you can see here. And so really this is a special factory order for Great Eastern Cutlery Club on Facebook. Now, hope I don't get anyone in trouble, including myself, but by saying that, but that's just the fact of the matter. You can actually see here in the write-up on the back of the tube, if you look at the first letter of each paragraph, it spells out GECC. Now, you might be wondering, if you're not kind of familiar with this knife and the Great Eastern Cutlery Club Facebook group, why is all of that the case? Well, the Great Eastern Cutlery Club Facebook group is one of the older ones. It's established in 2018, at least as far as I'm aware, one of the older Facebook groups specifically for Great Eastern Cutlery knives, or even really kind of traditional knives, but it is specifically, geared towards Great Eastern Cutlery knives. And it's one that I have been a part of, I think, since 2018 when it started. And in fact, I was either an admin or a mod, I forget which, for a good while, and helped out with the Facebook group. And it's, a great place. I've always recommended it to people if they're getting into GEC knives, and if they, want to learn more about them and sell them, buy them, things like that. And so, there's a lot of positivity. And so naturally, several years ago, it started to become kind of an idea, a call to action, I guess, to have a club knife. And so that was something that Darren Orrell, so you can see Darren Orrell's email address here at the bottom, who is one of the admins or mods, whichever one is the higher, basically. He and other people, including Kyle, who started the group, were in contact with Great Eastern Cutlery, Bill at Great Eastern Cutlery, about doing this. And so even before this, there was some other kind of things that brought up this issue of the fact that the name of the group includes the name Great Eastern Cutlery. And so the problem with that is that it is a trademark of Great Eastern Cutlery. The name Great Eastern Cutlery is obviously trademarked by Great Eastern Cutlery. And Bill is, definitely careful about that type of thing, and understandably so, particularly in pocket knives, especially, the golden age of pocket knives. There was a lot of kind of subterfuge and things like that. And I think also just, he's careful about litigation and things along those lines. So when Darren talked to Bill, the issue with having a club knife, was that name, Great Eastern Cutlery Club, just couldn't be used because it included the trademark name of Great Eastern Cutlery. So that was always kind of the issue, and it just kind of didn't come to fruition. And I exited the leadership role from Great Eastern Cutlery Club when I started the Barlow Bearcat Club, and have not been as involved with it in general since then, partly from just being busy with Barlow Bearcat Club, and partly because I've been kind of moving away from Facebook in general, but just haven't been quite as involved. And so it was announced that this was going to happen, that there was going to be a special factory order, a club knife for the Facebook group. And it's really exciting. I was really kind of really excited and kind of amazed. I was wondering how it was, kind of made to happen. I didn't think Bill was going to bend on the name, being used, Great Eastern Cutlery Club. And so that's where this TBDPKCC comes in. I am having trouble remembering exactly the details of it, and couldn't find the Facebook post. Honestly, I don't have Facebook on my phone, so it's always hard to look. The Facebook search is basically worthless. But either when they were discussing it, Bill or Darren kind of suggested jokingly that you could call it the best damn pocket knife collectors club. And Darren decided to go with that. So I don't know the specifics of the conversation. Obviously, I was not in any way involved, but that's what they went with. So it's an SFO for the best damn pocket knife collectors club. And I think that this is probably the most that I've sworn in a video ever, just from saying a damn this many times. I know probably a lot of people don't really consider it to be a swear. I just don't swear in my videos. So, you know, out of my comfort zone with that. I prefer to really keep it, you know, completely no swearing in my videos. So that's one thing with the name. I'm going to call it TBDPKCC. And then you can read through this. So basically, just a cool write-up talking about what this is. It's the number 39 Sheffield jacket. It's a bare head with clip and spade blades, Northfield trim, long pulls, antique yellow jigged bone, and a bomb shield. So a really cool kind of configuration. I know I'm 6 minutes in and haven't shown the knife. I'm sure people will have things to say about that. But I wanted to give you some background on it if you're not familiar with Great Eastern Cutlery Club on Facebook and, you know, all of the situation there. So there were 100 of these is what I understand. And here it is. And so first of all, the first thing I noticed about this knife when I got it today, I just got this, I haven't carried or used it or anything, and don't really plan to, is that it has really classic bone, both in the jigging. It's got this kind of almost woven look to the jigging, and also in the coloring. It's a very classic, again, antique yellow jigged bone. So I really like that, and I think that the bomb shield goes really well with it. The other thing is that it is fit nicely with the covers to the shield, covers to the bolsters, and I've been seeing, you know, some gaps between covers and bolsters. A good, you know, relatively good bit recently. So it's fit really nicely there. Fits super nicely on the back spring. I mean, no even close to gaps there. And I do like the look of these two blades. I think that on this knife, I don't have any other 39s. This is the only number 39 that I have. It's only the second one that I have had. Honestly, I kind of gifted back the other one because I'm just not hugely into particularly the spay blade on this knife. And I'll talk a little bit about that on this one here in a second. You might even be able to see what I'm going to talk about. But I do like the look of these two blades with the long pulls. With nail nicks, you know, I think it'd be hard to get at them. Here, you can get at these two long pulls pretty easily. You can see I've got short thumbnails right now for my work, and you can get at that. You know, the long pulls are nicely done and easy to get at. Same with that one. But honestly, for me, they did do a single spay blade version of this number 39 on this run. Would have loved to have seen a single clip point. I think that a lot of people would probably have loved to have seen that because while the spay blade is a really cool blade, I'd like the ability to pinch the clip point open. But I do think that they look really nice. I think that they're finished nicely. You can see that they have a mirror polish, being that it is Northfield trim. Really nice cut swedge on this spay blade. And I think it is a good looking spay blade as they go. You know, GECC certainly does a good job of making classic blade shapes. And then here is that clip point, and you can see that etch, TBDPKCC, established 2018. So that's cool. It's kind of one of those things that I think will probably be an interesting point in the annals of GEC history, this TBDPKCC and its association with Great Eastern Cutlery Club on Facebook. But also has nice action. So really nice action, right around a 5, maybe slightly towards a 6, but nice snap on both, and both are well centered also. So really a nicely made knife almost all around. And unfortunately, this has a pretty clearly proud spade blade tip. So you can see it's like all the way out. Now, is it going to cut you? No, it probably won't cut you because of the way that, just the shape of a spade blade and the fact that it's, not particularly a thin edge at the tip of the spade blade. So, that's something where, is it a huge practical issue? No, and I think sometimes people often, if they know anything about my channel or me, they know that I don't like proud tips or blade wrap, and kind of it's a little bit of a joke, and sometimes maybe people get a little bit like think I'm being ridiculous, and that's fine. You can think that, but I just don't think that a knife's tip should be sitting above its handle. Now, you could drop the kick on this for sure. I even considered doing it before making this video. I still would have talked about the proud tip, but just to do it. But the thing with that is this long pull is going to sit pretty low then, and you also run the risk of lowering the spring in the closed position. So I probably won't do it again. It's not a knife that I really plan to carry and use a whole lot, but it's something that I wish could have been avoided. But that's really the only issue on this knife. All the pins are nicely done. I noticed that they're kind of flatter than they have been, kind of the rest of the time I've been buying GEC knives. Someone else mentioned that in Great Eastern Cutlery Club on Facebook, and I agreed. I don't know that there's any change in how they're doing it. It might just be a different bit or whatever, whatever you call the thing that does the spinning, but they do seem a little bit flatter, but the covers are nice and smooth, nicely finished. Just a really nice knife, in all ways, except for the fact that the tip sits above the frame on that spade blade. And it doesn't really on the clip point. Let's take another look at that. You can, it's well enough within the frame on the clip point. But I think it would make a nice user to have a spay and a clip. You get kind of two full-size blades in a relatively small size knife. I'll show you some size comparisons to some other GEC patterns. So here is a number 15, which is basically the same size. And then here is a 94, which is a little smaller, but kind of somewhat similar in that it's a curved jack. The 94 has a square butt end versus a rounded butt end, but similar in size and similar in style. So just a couple comparisons if you're interested in that. Now, like I said, these were an SFO, and I believe that there were 100 made, and basically they're all already sold. These were pretty much all arriving really yesterday, and then I had to pick mine up today. And so if you weren't in this crazy chat chain on Facebook Messenger, then unfortunately you didn't get picked as one of the 100 out of whatever 4,000 people that are in Great Eastern Cutlery Club. I think maybe 400 or 500 replied to Darren created a post to kind of announce these and said, hey, if you're interested, respond to this post. And I think maybe 400 or 500, at least the last time I looked, had responded to that post. And so only like 1 out of 4 or fewer than that were able to actually get the knife. And that's unfortunate, but really that's just the way it is with GEC. Now, Great Eastern Cutlery Club, again, the Facebook group, has a lot of people in it, 4,000 people. So 100 knives is definitely not going to cover it, but, it's great of Great Eastern Cutlery to offer this in itself, because it's something that is a little bit different that they haven't really done too much before. So I was really lucky to be included. Darren did it by random number generator, as far as I know, and then put everyone into a messenger chat, and it was very active. I'm not gonna lie, I muted the messenger chat because it was, not always on topic of the knife or knives even in general. So I did mute that and just kind of watched it for updates. And I wanted to mention that I really appreciate the work that Darren did to get this knife to everyone, because I know that it's it's not nothing. It's a piece of work. And that's, because I have done the 2 club knives for the Barlow Bearcat Club, but they were only, about 70 for the first, the 2023, and about 90 for the 2024. And so, 100 here for this is even more. And also, Darren kind of was just jumping into this kind of fresh, you might say. I was lucky to already have my site set up to be able to, for people to purchase things. Already had like a shipping integration with my PayPal, so it was easy to print the labels and stuff like that. And as far as I know, Darren didn't have all of that kind of set up just because it wasn't something that had been needed. So I imagine it was a lot of work for Darren to coordinate this before it came to fruition, to stay kind of on it, to keep in communication with everyone at Great Eastern Cutlery, then to kind of communicate with the specifics of it, to deal with the logistics of contacting everyone who was going to be able to buy one, getting payment, which, we just sent payment to Darren. And then, I'm sure there will be other things to deal with, and then shipping, getting supplies and actually shipping them all. And then, things that will come later, like, if there's any taxes and things like that. It is a lot of work, and I applaud Darren for all of his work, to make this happen. I know that a lot of people are going to really appreciate it, and it's something that is kind of a labor of love for someone who really does enjoy these knives like I know Darren does. So again, thank you to Darren. I think it's a really cool thing that you've been able to do and accomplish. I don't know if Darren will see this, but I think it's a great thing that he has made happen, made come to fruition. So I really appreciate it, Darren. And I know how much work it is. So great work. It all went smoothly as far as I could tell, pretty much. So that's a great thing. And, I think people are loving these. I've seen some posts on Great Eastern Cutlery Club already about how it's one of the better finished GECs recently. And I agree. Like I say, there's no gaps between the covers and bolsters. The shield is put in nicely. It's nicely centered, great action. Just a super nicely made knife. Mine just has a proud tip, which I am probably particularly sensitive to. So very cool to have gotten this first SFO for Great Eastern Cutlery Club, aka TBDPKCC. Oh, I didn't even show you the there is a pin here, so I didn't show you that. But the first SFO for GECC, aka TBDPKCC on Facebook, and hopefully there will be more in the future. I hope that it's something that can continue and can be successful and enjoyed by a lot of people. I think that it's a great thing. I think that GECC is one of the kind of positive spaces for those who enjoy Great Eastern Cutlery knives, and I'm glad to see that it has finally happened. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you join GECC. I think it might be a closed or hidden or whatever it's called group now. I'm not really sure, but you can try to search for it or ask a friend, a knife friend on Facebook, if they can invite you, and try to join that. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post new videos. Check out my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife-related topics. And last but not, also make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter at knifethoughts.com. It's the best way to make sure you're getting all of the Knife Thoughts content. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.